What's going on, everyone? So there are three teams that I think are in very similar situations and needing a change, needing a bit of a shakeup, and particularly with some players that could maybe make sense. And that is the Denver Nuggets, the Miami Heat, and the Sacramento Kings. Now, obviously, De'Aaron Fox, the Denver Nuggets are looking for Michael Porter Jr. to try to unload and make some type of move. You're looking at Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler, right? Got this kind of potential carousel that's going on here. Well, could all three teams maybe potentially help each other in some type of trade, in some type of shakeup, to where a big piece is going to each one, right? So, like, for example, you have a team in Denver that has been linked to Jimmy Butler, right? Well, they could go and trade for Jimmy Butler, but what are they going to give up? Like, does Miami really want Michael Porter Jr.? Right? Is that something that makes sense for them? A team like Sacramento, though, they have De'Aaron Fox. They may have to trade De'Aaron Fox. Would they maybe want a Michael Porter Jr.? Right? And maybe you can work something out where Jimmy Butler ends up going to Denver and De'Aaron Fox ends up going to Miami, and the Sacramento Kings end up with whatever. It could be maybe Tyler Hero is included to where they're getting that, especially if Miami's getting Fox, right? So maybe they're getting like a Michael Porter Jr. and another piece is going out or something, right? Like, you could have this potential three-way trade that I think would benefit all three guys, right? Miami could get kind of their guy in place of Jimmy Butler. If you could get a De'Aaron Fox, that's better than anything, right? The only reason Fox to Denver, I don't really think makes sense, is because of Jamal Murray. Now, if this was something that could potentially develop in the offseason, then sure, right? Like, look, you could argue Sacramento's probably not getting anything better than Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray, I think, just based on how Jamal Murray's been playing with the Denver Nuggets, I think you could argue that Fox would probably be better for the Denver Nuggets, particularly in just closing games and scoring the basketball. De'Aaron Fox is one of the best guys year in and year out. So if you could do some type of swap there to where, De'Aaron Fox is headed to Denver and Jamal Murray is headed to be, or maybe Jamal goes to Miami in the offseason, right? Maybe it's that. Maybe they're like, hey, we'll take Jamal. And, they're, again, a Tyler Hero package, and maybe Miami's keeping Jimmy Butler, right? And you're putting together some Tyler Hero package to unload guys. Point is, like, you have these three teams that I really do think could benefit each other. Now, it could just be, parallel trades, one-on-one trades, or you kind of get everyone involved so that way you can make the money work, the math work. Probably you'd have to get, like, some salary cap fourth team because they're all, cap teams, so neither team could take any money back, any salary back. But it's more so just like that's the easy part, figuring that out, throw a team a couple seconds or like a young guy or something, like, hey, thanks type thing, and you can work it out. But it's more so the hard part would be figuring out who goes where and what goes what and who gets who, right? So to me, it's more so of like, I think the best kind of route for everybody would, like, Jimmy Butler goes to Denver because they want Jimmy Butler. And then you have De'Aaron Fox going to Miami, right? So now you have De'Aaron Fox and Bam Adebayo as like your core for the future, for now and the future, kind of going forward. And then the Sacramento case, they could get a Michael Porter Jr. or they could flip him to that fourth team and maybe get some assets, or maybe you include a Tyler Hero in the deal or something, and you're taking back another piece or two. There's ways to kind of configure this in multiple outlets. Now, if you did it in the offseason, which probably is more likely, like, my thing is, I don't think De'Aaron Fox is going to get traded this season. I think more likely than not, he'll finish out the season. It'll probably be in the offseason. So again, that's where I think maybe you're looking at a Jamal Murray. Maybe you're trading Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and trying to get multiple things, right? Like, not saying all in this one trade, but I'm saying, like, maybe you're trading Jamal Murray to get De'Aaron Fox, and then you have a Michael Porter Jr. that you can still leverage to go get another piece, go get another guy. Hey, if Miami's willing to pony up Jimmy Butler, maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe you're getting Jimmy Butler and you're getting De'Aaron Fox, right, for a Michael Porter Jr. and a Jamal Murray package, right? You'd have to include other things and work things out. But in the offseason, it'd be a lot easier to kind of work out and figure out compared to right now. Because Miami is in this kind of rock and a hard place, right? Like, they don't want to just give Jimmy Butler away. They're willing to call his bluff and take his chance. They're a team that, even if he wants to leave in the offseason and they're willing to trade him in the offseason, you're still probably going to have to work out a sign and trade because the only team that really would have the money to sign him is Brooklyn. So it's like, okay, if you trade Jimmy, what direction do you go? Do you just hit a full rebuild, keep all the young guys you have, try to get some more young guys, and figure out what to do with Bam Adebayo? He's still young, but he's not like 23 to where it's like, you keep him long term. To kind of just keep Tyler Hero, kind of build around Tyler Hero, maybe trade Bam Adebayo and try to get a bunch of assets, right? Like, it's stuff that Miami's going to have to figure out. Denver, they're just like, they're in a tough spot too right now, right? Like, it's like, okay, would you trade Michael Porter Jr.? Well, Michael Porter, all the rumors about Michael Porter Jr. came up, and then, supposedly Denver was like, nah, buddy, like, we love you, man. Like, you're our guy, right? And I just don't buy that. I think if they could get a guy, I just think that everything just kind of fell through, and they were like, yeah, no, man, like, they're all, come on, man, you know how the game works, right? Like, it's kind of how it felt like to me. And then Sacramento, I think it's inevitable at this point that Fox is gone. The only way I thought Fox would stay was if he got the Supermax, because I didn't think he was going to turn down the next year and money and stuff like that, but he's not going to qualify for the Supermax at this point. So I think he's gone. So you have these three teams that really just, all three need a shakeup, right? All three need to, rally it up and then boom, throw the dice and see what happens, right? And it's just, why not try to see if you can all help each other, right? Because also, none of the three would impact the other, right? So, like, if the Kings are trading De'Aaron Fox, they're probably hitting the reset button, which is why a guy like Tyler Hero would make some sense. Miami's in the East, right? And then Denver's a team trying to contend. So you'll see a lot of times, like, teams don't, like, do we really want to make this team better? And and we're competing against them, and it's like, man, that trade really would help them. Like, this trade would make us better. Do we really think that we can beat them with them getting that guy? And you kind of make things a little complicated. But in this situation, nothing would be, right? Because Sacramento's hitting the reset button. You're not, even if they are okay and good, like, you're Denver, you're running through them. You're not worried about them. And then, again, the only way you'll ever see Miami is if they're in the NBA Finals and you guys are both there, and then you just deal with it then, right? So you're trading to a different conference. You're kind of working things out in a different way. And especially if you get the piece, like, I think for Denver, like, it makes a lot of sense. I think for Miami, it makes a lot of sense. It's just, how do you make it work enough to appease a team like Sacramento? And like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be a 3-team trade. It's just kind of like those 3 teams, I think, make a lot of sense as trade partners for each other. Where, Sacramento gets some nice pieces, whether they want to kind of still compete or kind of hit the reset button or whatever, right? Like, Miami's got multiple ways to do that. Same thing with a team like Denver. Like I said, you can include a 4th team or something if you needed to kind of just be that kind of middleman to unload whatever you need to and add some other assets and stuff like that. Or maybe they're the team that's taking on a Michael Porter Jr. and sending some picks and whatnot to, a team like Sacramento, and they're just getting like a huge pick haul in return and stuff, right? Like, all the little intricacies, those are the easy parts. Like, that's the easy thing to figure out, right? Like, you're just trying to figure out the semantics, but it's kind of getting that all together and working with these 3 teams. But I think that it's something that I could see being explored, right? Like, whenever you're talking 3 teams stuff, because, like, I was thinking about them, like, individually, and I even made a video on, like, De'Aaron Fox to Miami and stuff like that. But then I was just like, you know what? Like, these 3, like, you have this, like, triangle. Like, it makes sense for them to all kind of work together and help each other. And like I said, if ultimately Denver's ending up with a Jimmy Butler or De'Aaron Fox, like, that's huge, or potentially both, like I mentioned, or Miami's ending up with a Fox and I think it's something that you could really make work. But again, just kind of a thought that was just in my head that I was like, hey, you know what? Let's just put pen to paper here a little bit and just have fun, talk about it and explore. But As always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like this idea? Do you hate this idea? Do you think, like, yeah, pull it off as, 3 or 4 team trade, whatever? Or do you think, like, nah, just do it individually? Which guy would you want to see where? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.